As Nicole consoles Danny in the latter's bedroom, she admits she's relieved her kids aren't at an increased risk of developing cancer. She feels like a selfish sister, but Danny won't let her carry guilt over it. She wants to be strong for everyone, but it's Nicole's turn to put her foot down. She embraces her little sister, who sobs in her arms. Tomas goes over Lynette's embezzlement case in Bill's office, but his boss is too distracted with worry over Danny and his daughters. When Tomasha instructs Haley to research any shady behavior, she assumes he wants her to look into Lynette's credibility. Tomas corrects her. Look into Lynette's boss. You know, the one accusing their client of embezzlement. Caroline offers to tap into the assistant's network to find out where all the bodies are buried, which seems to make Haley nervous. Bill rushes out after getting a distress call from Chelsea, and Toss gets a text from Kat, relaying she's in the clear regarding the BRCA gene. Haley realizes Danny's side of the family isn't so lucky and bemoans Danny coming first with Bill. Again. Tomas assures her Bill's just being there for his girls. Haley sweetly grins in agreement, but alone, she rants about Bill playing hero to Danny. When I'm done with you, she'll be the one crying over your casket. While Danny takes a bath, Nicole goes downstairs to console Chelsea and remind her that having the gene isn't a diagnosis. This nudges her into working on sketches with Kat to present to a stylist. After the girls leave, Bill races in. "Where's Danny?" Nicole tries to put him off, but Bill goes upstairs and wraps his arms around his ex-wife. "I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere." As Nicole fills in a returning Andre downstairs, Danny pulls away from Bill upstairs. She reminds him that this isn't his role in her life anymore. Why does it feel so natural then? He wonders. He promises she'll be fine because he won't stand for anything to the contrary. She quips that not even the great and powerful Bill Hamilton is a match for this. "Don't bet on it, beautiful," he says, and pulls her back into his arms, just as Andre walks in. He escorts a posturing Bill downstairs, where he assures Danny's ex that they will have a problem if he catches him consoling his wife again. At the hospital, a frustrated Naomi unloads on Ashley about all the hoops she has to jump through to schedule her and Chelsea's blood tests. Ashley calls Grayson in the lab to fast-track it and agrees to a coffee date in the process. When Naomi quips she's prostituting her dating life for them, Ashley counters that it isn't a huge sacrifice because Grayson is really hot. Plus, he's been sliding in her DMs ever since she changed her relationship status to available. Back at the office, Tomas overhears Haley talking on the phone to Randy. "I used my whole bag of tricks," she vents. "Maybe it's time to kick things up a notch." The Wednesday, January 14th. Spoilers for Beyond the Gates focus on Leslie's romantic interlude taking a dangerous turn. Meanwhile, the danger persists as Haley continues to implement her deadly plan, and Joey consults with Bill on a legal matter. Leslie's love life is about to get turbulent. The weekly spoilers reveal that her romantic interlude takes a dangerous turn. If she's experiencing romance, it's not with Teddy. It's most likely with the DMV's shadiest detective, Marcel Malone. Leslie has been working on getting funding for the free clinic. However, Marcel recently warned her about her partnership with Joey Armstrong. Does the danger aspect of their romantic interlude have to do with Joey, or is this something unrelated? The danger continues with Haley. She is frustrated with her husband. He can't seem to focus on her long enough for her to kill Bill. Instead, he runs over to Danny's to console her after learning of her test results. She may be conning him, but she will not be disrespected. So Haley continues to enact her deadly plan. Meanwhile, Joey consults with Bill on a legal matter. These two can't stay away from each other. Joey recently tried to enlist Bill to run against Martin in the next election. In the wake of Anita's cancer diagnosis and Danny testing positive for the BRCA gene, the Dupree sisters are about to get some more support. Their besties arrive on the scene. The teasers suggest Vanessa shows up for a friend in need. This has to be Nicole, who is struggling with her mom's illness and the fact that she doesn't have the BRCA gene, but her sister does. As for Danny, Pamela bolsters her bestie. It has been a minute since we last saw Katie McLean's Pamela, but there is no way she won't be there for her best friend and business partner. Beyond the Gates spoilers reveal that Andre Richardson is a busy little bee in Fairmont Crest. between his duties as Danny Dupree's husband, his philanthropic activities, and his freelance photography business. The same could be said about his character's portrayer, who was recently awarded with quite the honor. Freeman hopped on Instagram recently to tell the fun news to his fans. He posted a poster of the annual MLK Scholarship Breakfast, taking place on Saturday, January 17th. This is for the Dolan AL chapter. Freeman's caption started off with, "Honored to announce that I'll be delivering the keynote speech for my chapter's annual MLK Scholarship Breakfast this year." The actor went on to say, "As a longtime admirer and follower of Dr. King's powerful message and legacy, this moment feels truly full circle. After months of preparation, the day has finally arrived." Freeman states in his IG caption, "To all my family, friends, supporters, and fans in the area, be sure to grab your tickets by visiting upsilonlambda.com to reserve your seat or table." He ends the post with, "Let's come together to celebrate MLK Day and support scholarships that empower the next generation. I can't wait to see you all there." The caption also added, "Designed by Bro, Sadad Edison Smithy." Fans rushed to the comment section with encouraging words and congratulations. However, Freeman's Beyond the Gates colleagues also offered their support. Amber Michelle and Jen Jacob liked their castmates' Instagram post. In addition, Michelle hit the comment section by writing, "Yas, Sean." Freeman replied to Amber with, "Thanks, Ambry. There's a time to play around and a time to be serious. This is one of those times." In addition, Jaden Lucas Miller also commented with 3 fire emojis and 1 hand-up emoji, to which Freeman replied, "My boy. Thanks a lot. Deeply honored, for sure." In addition, Marquita Goings commented on the post with 4 hand clap emojis, and Freeman noted to his BTG colleague, "Thank you. On behalf of everyone here, we congratulate Sean Freeman on this incredible honor. Comment your thoughts below. Watch the CBS Soap Daily for all the Fairmont Crest drama, and visit CTS regularly for the hottest Beyond the Gates news, updates, and spoilers." Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Wednesday, January 14th, 26. This is one of the more intriguing plot twists. In Wednesday's episode, Joey consults with Bill on a legal matter. Now we know this has something to do with the partnership that Joey is entering into with Leslie, and that the free clinic idea will now be able to get off the ground with Joey's financial input. But it's still weird to think that Leslie couldn't finance it on her own, what with all her millions. Joey is a cautious man, and Leslie has irked him more than a little, so this meeting with Bill will be about finding a way to keep Joey safe from incrimination and how to word things legally so Leslie can take the fall for using laundered money. Keep an eye on how this progresses. In Wednesday's episode, Haley continues to enact her deadly plan while Leslie's romantic interlude takes a dangerous turn. Haley has had it up to here with Bill always running to Danny Dupree and wants to speed this process up of Bill croaking it and getting all the millions she thinks is owed to her. As for Leslie, spoilers show her and Marcel in her Hotel R tomb, and Marcel has taken his pistol out of his holster and showing Leslie, who looks more than uncomfortable with it, how to hold it. Why on earth would Leslie need a gun? In Wednesday's episode, Vanessa shows up for a friend in need while Pamela bolsters her bestie. Vanessa will be there for Nicole to help her through this rough time. Nicole has never been in the position where she may lose her little sister, and this BRCA gene testing has scared her more than we know. It's been a while since we saw Danny's bestie Pamela, and this is the opportune time for her to arrive back in Fairmont Crest and be there for Danny. Make sure to check out The Scoop and the next week's sneak peek for a deeper look into what's to come this week and what you have to look forward to from your favorite characters and not-so-favorite characters in the DMV. Beyond the Gates, 2-week spoilers for January 12th to 23, 2026 expose Bill Hamilton just snapping. He has had enough, and Joey Armstrong makes some serious threats. Monday, January 12th, we are in Season 2 and on Episode 7 of BTG. Chelsea Hamilton calls her dad, Bill Hamilton, with an urgent update. It's an SOS. I think Chelsea is going to tell Bill that they got their test results back. well, the first layer of test results, and Danny Dupree does have the BRCA gene. Andre Richardson, meanwhile, has to draw a line in the sand. It sounds like Bill might try and run over to play hero hubby, but that is Andre's job now, not Bill's. Dr. Ted Richardson already advised Andre to kick Bill back into his lane, and I expect to see that happen. I can't wait for it. Dr. Nicole Dupree Richardson is there as a good big sister to comfort Danny. Of course, Nicole is very scared for what this means for her little sister. Carlton and Ted have a talk that's going to be awkward but also is long overdue. I get Carlton's side thinking, oh, well, Nicole's single now. She dumped Ted. I can date her. But Carlton is Ted's longtime partner, and he's clearly in violation of the bro code. I think Carlton and Nicole are going to do what they want to do, and Ted be damned. Naomi Hamilton Hawthorne needs a favor from someone ASAP. Is it about her mom, Anita Dupree, is her Danny's results maybe? Or maybe it's about getting her own test done urgently. This week, Dana Leslie Thomas tells Joey in a very snarky way that she knows all about Vanessa McBride. She's clearly making some catty comments, because Joey tells Leslie he's had people killed for saying things like that. Joey grabs up his jacket and storms away from her at Uptown. I wonder if Leslie just lost her investor in the clinic because she was running her mouth about Joey's woman. Trisha Mann Grant is such a good actress. I know she's a perfectly lovely lady, but Leslie is so awful. She makes your skin crawl because she's just such a good actress. Tuesday, January 13th. It's Season 2, Episode 8 of Beyond the Gates. Jacob Hawthorne has a heart-to-heart chat with his dad, Elon. I'm sure he's catching him up on the Anita and Danny news, and the fact his own wife may have this BRCA gene. I wonder if this might inspire Elon to chill out a little bit on Isaiah, because this is a reminder that life's short. We don't get forever with the people in our family and the people we love. Ashley Morgan is out on a date with Grayson Perez. He is an absolute hunk who works with her at the hospital. He also has a mom that he takes care of. He's super sexy, super sweet, and this is Grayson Perez's Beyond the Gates debut. I loved him over on Young and the Restless, but unfortunately, they killed off his character, Ray Rosales, a few years ago. Anita is home from her first chemo session, and of course, she's going to find out that Danny is positive for the BRCA gene. Nicole is negative, but mostly Anita finds out that Vernon Dupree lied to her face when she asked if there were test results and he said no. Now, I understand that he didn't want Anita upset over that while she was getting her chemo drip, but she is not going to have it, and she's going to lay into Vernon. Nicole is spiraling while the Dupree rally around not only Anita, but also Danny, who's devastated and scared. This week, Bill asks Joey when he's up at his office. "Why are you here?" Joey says. "It's complicated." Bill says this might be a little more fun than he thought. If you remember, he could be circling back around about the political stuff. Or Joey may be asking Bill for help dealing with the paperwork for the clinic he's agreed to invest in with Leslie. I'm actually hoping that Joey finds a way to screw her over, but Joey may also back out of the deal because Leslie is disrespecting Vanessa. On Wednesday, January 14th, Season 2, Episode 9 of Beyond the Gates, we've got Haley Lawson keeping on with her plot to kill Bill and get that big payday and the house in the Caribbean. When she pours him a cup of that hot toxic tea, he tells Haley that he's not drinking any of her poison. But no, Bill is not onto her scam. He's just tired of drinking the tea that doesn't taste great. You'd think she'd put a little sugar in there, or a little vanilla. Something to cover up for whatever it is that she's dosing him with. Plus, Vanessa is there for a friend in need. It's probably Nicole, but it could be Danny. Meanwhile, Pamela's there to support Danny, who's obviously scared for her mom, herself, and her girls. Plus, Leslie's got Marcel back at her hotel room. Leslie's getting freaky when she snatches Marcel's gun from his holster. Leslie's taking aim with it and saying that he has a lot to learn about her. Also this week, Naomi tells Ashley at the hospital she's had blood work done more times than she can count. In this case, it could really change everything. Chelsea is also up to meet Naomi at the hospital to get her gene testing done at the same time. They are hugging in support, but obviously they're scared again for Anita, for Danny, and for themselves. Thursday, January 15th on Beyond the Gates, it's Season 2, Episode 10. We've got Danny clashing with Haley. who is being insensitive about the Dupree family crisis. She loves to tell Bill that the Duprees aren't his family and that she is his only family. But this hits close to home for Bill because his daughters might have that BRCA gene and be at very high risk of cancer. Of course, Haley's going to be jealous over any concern that Bill shows for Danny and any attention he's paying to his daughters. Ted asks Eva Thomas to do something that will put her in a bad spot with Catherine "Cat" Richardson yet again. I wonder if it's something to do with the Duprees and this cancer crisis, or if it's something to do with Cotillion and Samantha since she's involved. Jessica has a proposition for Tyrell. This may be more on the Cotillion issue, or she may be pushing him on something else. Martin Richardson and Bradley "Smitty" Smith do not like this girl Jessica yanking their son Tyrell around and taking charge of him. Ashley updates Naomi and Shanice. It may be about her hot date, or it could be about Naomi's testing. I'm betting Vernon's going to use his influence to get those tests back on his grandbabies as soon as possible. Plus, Anita reaches her limit. This may be when she storms into Danny's house. Andre is yelling out that Danny may not be dressed yet, trying to alert her that her mom's there, but Anita doesn't stop. She keeps heading for the bedroom as Vernon's standing there with Andre. Anita is really irritated and tells Andre that she brought Danny into this world. Does he think she hasn't seen her naked behind? On Friday, January 16th, we're going to end the week on Beyond the Gates with Season 2, Episode 11. Derek Baldwin does not like what he sees, so he may spot Ashley out with Grayson. Also this week, Ashley's asking Grayson if he knows how some people can tie a cherry stem with their tongue. Apparently, that's one of her party tricks. He asks if she's going to do it there at Uptown, but Ashley says back at her apartment. Are she and Grayson going to leave, obviously headed for the bed? Derek gets really jealous. Chelsea shares some news with the family. It could be about her test results, or something with her and Madison. Ted and Shanice are really heating up. Looney Leslie isn't going to like that. Isaiah comforts Eva, and Naomi feels like Jacob is pressuring her. If Naomi is BRCA positive, I wonder if Jacob might push her to freeze her eggs. He's still hoping Naomi will agree to have kids one day. Some BRCA-positive women opt for proactive surgery to remove their ovaries, their fallopian tubes, and their breast tissue because it drastically reduces your cancer risk. Beyond the Gates is heating up in Fairmont Crest as Anita Dupree faces the harsh reality of chemo while learning her husband, Vernon, hid their daughter's test results. Meanwhile, Nicole spirals under the pressure, and Jacob finally talks with his dad. Elsewhere, Ashley prepares for a date with the mysterious new arrival, Grayson. Keep scrolling to know more. Anita came home completely wiped out after the first round of chemo. She started treatment for breast cancer. However, just as she opened the door, things completely changed. Vernon had told her earlier that the news from their daughter's test wasn't yet available. Danny had tested positive for the BRCA gene. Elsewhere, Nicole had tested negative, and he wasn't ready or prepared to tell Anita about the news. Anita has already been going through a lot, and now she has to process the risks her family faces. She is worried about her daughter Danny. However, Danny receives support from everybody. Elsewhere, Danny also leans on Pamela Curtis. Pamela has arrived to give her the comfort a longtime friend usually gives. However, Nicole is spiraling even though she got a negative result. The entire family are holding on to each other, and even Anita is trying to understand why Vernon must have lied. Elsewhere, Jacob finally has a long overdue talk with Elon. They have both been avoiding this conversation for too long, and they both realized it. Now the father and son finally open up. They let out their frustrations and truths that needed to be said. The Duprees and the Menlos are dealing with their problems. Meanwhile, Ashley Morgan has been getting ready for her date with Grayson. He is the new coworker who has already caught her attention. Elsewhere, Jordi Villasuso plays Grayson's character. The next day, she tells Naomi and Shanice everything. Elsewhere, Ashley, Grayson, and Derek will cross paths again. However, it is Derek's reaction that says everything, and even Ashley feels pulled between the two men. Elsewhere, Anita is confronting truths at home, while Nicole is struggling to steady herself. Jacob finally opens up to his father, and Ashley steps toward a possible romance. For more Beyond the Gates spoilers and updates, keep following Soap Opera Daily. Monday, January 12th, 2025. In today's BTG episode, Nicole comforts Danny during a crisis. Andre draws a line in the sand. Chelsea sends an SOS call to Bill. Naomi needs an urgent favor from a friend. Ted and Carlton have a long overdue chat. Read the last BTG recap. Vernon lies to Anita. When Danny tests positive for the BRCA gene and Kate gives an apology, at Danny's, Naomi's on her phone, making appointments to have her and Chelsea's blood drawn. Kat prepares drinks for them, and Naomi complains about the Wi-Fi and goes to talk to the hospital in person. Chelsea will tell Bill what's going on. Upstairs, the sisters cuddle in Danny's bed and reminisce about their horse Buttercup. Nicole feels guilty about the testing, while she's also relieved her and her kids tested negative. Danny understands and is happy for them, but she breaks down, worried. She wants to be strong for the kids. Nicole tells her to regroup. Take a bath. She'll check on the girls. Ted and Andre meet at the club and discuss getting the test results back today. Andre's trying to be strong for Danny, but he's terrified. They see Carlton sit at the bar as they talk about how they've grown apart. Andre asks him to talk to the man, who used to be his bestie. That was before, Ted says. There's no statute of limitations on taking your best friend's ex. Andre thinks life is too short to stay mad at people you love. Ted approaches Carlton, has a drink, and thanks him for helping Andre through. He talks about how cautious Andre has been since his parents died. Things segue to Ted knowing what it's like to lose someone you love. He admits seeing Carlton with Nicole, but he's glad she's moving forward with someone who will cherish her. He asks Carlton to let Nicole lean on him because she'll need him. She won't act like she needs it. Don't believe her. Ted knows Carlton will treat her right. Carlton isn't sure where this leaves them, but if he needs him to talk, to remind him he's more than his mistakes. I'll be here. At the office, Tomas reads some of Lynette's case. It doesn't look good. Bill's mind drifts to Danny getting tested. Haley asks what Bill thinks, and he asks Toms to repeat it. Haley will look into the boss's credibility. They all have their roles to strengthen her defense. Bill's still not with it, and Haley side-eyes him as they disperse. Once they file out, Haley checks on Bill, who gets a call from Chelsea, telling him they need him. He has a meltdown when he can't find his keys, and when Haley hands them over, he rushes out of the office. Tomas returns, and Haley bitches. He gets a text from Kat about being clear for the BRCA gene. Haley's happy about that, but now wonders if that's why Bill ran out of the office. She complains, "That woman will always come first with my husband." Tomas comforts Haley, knowing this is hard on her. She feels bad bitching about this during a time like this. She realizes Bill's probably helping his daughters and thanks him for talking her down. When he's gone, Haley snidely talks about Bill holding Danny's hand. "When I'm done with you, she'll be the one crying over your casket." Back at Danny's, Kat has called Martin with the news and hands the phone to Chelsea, who says she's worried. She's trying to be strong for Mom, but feels she's falling apart. Nicole comes down while Danny's bathing and offers comfort. They talk up the Golden Globes again and the opportunity that slipped through their fingers. Kat knows there are more opportunities to come. Chelsea thinks it's lame to think about such vapid things like handbags while Gran's fighting for her life. Nicole gives them a pep talk and a PSA about the BRCA gene not being a death sentence. The girls wander off to work, and Bill comes in looking for Danny. Nicole reminds him he's not her husband anymore, and she doesn't need this hurricane energy. She's bathing. Bill runs up to her room and finds her in front of her vanity. They embrace and Nicole watches. "I'm here and not going anywhere." Naomi goes to make an appointment with Ashley for a blood test for her and her cousin. She tells her about her mom being a carrier, though Ashley knows. Naomi bitches about the app that doesn't work for scheduling. Ashley can tell her friend is going into overdrive to avoid feeling. Ashley will help schedule the appointment and urges her to talk things out. Naomi blurts that she's pissed because everything has been one disaster after another. Haley stole her dad, her parents divorced. She goes on to mention Allison being a stalker and Andre marrying her mom, and now this. She starts to break down. Later, Ashley calls the lab to get things rolling, and she gets all shy with the caller and accepts a date. She tells her bestie that Grayson's really hot and has been sliding into her DMs. Naomi urges her to date him. The girls head to their apartment and talk about their next purse design. Kat wants to leak to the fashion press. They embrace, glad to be besties again. It was also nice to keep their mind off of the testing. They wonder where Bill is. Andre returns home and Nicole tells him this isn't a death sentence, but Danny is positive. Andre breathes out since it's a shock. He tells Nicole he loves Danny and they'll face it together. He needs to hold her. Nicole admits she's in her room with Bill. Upstairs, Danny yells that this isn't Bill's role anymore. He's supposed to be here for the girls, not her. They're not together. He's like an old pair of shoes she feels comfortable with. Bill comforts her more, but she says he's not a match for Cancer. "Don't bet on it, beautiful," he says, and Andre walks up. The couple embraces, and he says he's sorry that he wasn't there when she found out. Bill juts out his chin. He was there for her. Andre tells the man he doesn't need to be. They debate that and take things downstairs. Andre tells him he'd better not find him in his wife's bedroom again. Bill claims he'll always be there for Danny, and it's not subject to Andre's approval. Andre reminds him he was too busy stooping Haley when Danny really needed him. "My wife is no longer your concern." Back at the office, Haley's on a call as Thomas listens in while she tells them she used her bag of tricks on him and that it's time to step things up. Beyond the Gates spoilers here, and we're ready to set up the week for our visit to Fairmont Crest, and we have some fun spoilery goodies to share. The week of Monday, January 12th to Friday, January 16th is going to be a good one as we start moving away from the Cancer storyline bit by bit. After Vernon Dupree lied to Anita Dupree about hearing news, she'll learn the hard way by walking in on Danny Dupree. Andre Richardson will try to head her off, but he'll have to come clean if he pushes. We get a new character as Jordi Villasuso will make his show debut as he meets Ashley Morgan for a date. Things will go well, and she'll invite him back to her place. She's not trying to fill a void or anything, right? Meanwhile, it looks like Leslie Thomas will push Joey Armstrong's buttons. She's going to taunt him about knowing the truth about Doug McBride's death, and will threaten to tell Vanessa McBride. He's going to want to kill her, and it's going to be interesting to see if she can maneuver the same waters going forward. Both are smart and crafty, and this will be a fun match. Beyond the Gates, spoilers, doubt Anita will be angry with Vernon for his little white lie. At least, she won't be mad after a while. What's going to break her heart is knowing she passed the BRCA gene onto Danny. She'll beat herself up over it while staying strong for Danny to help her cope with it. The one good thing is, it's not guaranteed Danny will get cancer down the line, though the odds may not be that good. We're curious how Grayson will enter the show. We expect he'll be an old friend of Ashley, given how fast she moves on their date. There will be a sense of familiarity between them, or maybe it'll just be instant chemistry. As much as she'll like him, we have a feeling she's trying to move on from Derek Baldwin. Since he's kinda dating, why not her? We just hope she's not rushing herself into things. It looks like the argument over whose name will be on the clinic, and Leslie will go all in. Once again, she'll throw out knowing he had Doug killed and will threaten to tell Vanessa. Or maybe it'll be more direct. There's a reason Joey wanted Marcel Malone to protect Vanessa. He knows what Leslie is capable of, and her threats could mean the end of her. Is Leslie a match for Joey's experience? Let us know in the comments below. Check back with Beyond the Gates spoilers for the latest updates, spoilers, and speculation around. For any other soap opera and entertainment news, please visit again Daily Soap Dish. Monday's episode of Beyond the Gates centers on emotional fallout, simmering rivalries, and quiet moves that could trigger bigger consequences ahead. As Danny processes her relief and fear following the family's BRCA results, she leans on Nicole for support and tries to regain her footing. Bill, however, struggles to maintain boundaries and rushes to Danny's side, setting off tension with Andre and reopening old wounds. Elsewhere, Ted takes a difficult but necessary step toward growth by extending an olive branch to Carlton, confronting the weight of his past mistakes. At the office, the legal battle surrounding Lynette's embezzlement case intensifies, with Tomas redirecting the investigation and Haley privately revealing just how far she's willing to go. Meanwhile, Ashley uses her professional connections to help Naomi and Chelsea, even if it blurs personal lines. The hour balances quiet reconciliation with ominous warning signs as compassion and resentment collide across Fairmont Crest. The episode opens at the country club, where Ted and Andre talk about the emotional fallout from Danny and Nicole's recent medical scare. Both sisters are trying to move forward, but the damage lingers. When Ted notices Carlton at the bar, Andre urges him to face the moment instead of avoiding it. Ted reluctantly approaches Carlton and offers an olive branch. The exchange is strained but sincere. Ted admits it is painful to see Nicole with someone else, even though he knows she deserves happiness. Carlton listens and reassures Ted that he is not defined by his past mistakes. They sit together with drinks, settling into an uneasy but meaningful truce. At Danny's home, Nicole finds her sister overwhelmed. Danny admits she is relieved that her children are not at greater risk after the BRCA results. At the same time, she feels guilty knowing others in the family were not spared. Nicole refuses to let Danny minimize her own fear. She reminds her that being strong does not mean being silent. Danny finally breaks down and sobs. Nicole holds her and refuses to let her face the moment alone. At the law office, Thomas reviews the embezzlement case involving Lynette. Bill is present but distracted, clearly preoccupied with Danny and his daughters. Thomas assigns Haley to dig into suspicious activity related to the case. Haley assumes the focus is on Lynette herself. Tomas corrects her and directs her attention to Lynette's boss instead. Caroline offers to tap into her professional network to uncover hidden details. Haley's discomfort is noticeable. Bill soon receives an urgent message from Chelsea and abruptly leaves the office. Tomas later learns that Kat has tested negative for the BRCA gene. Haley quickly connects the dots and realizes Danny's side of the family did not receive the same relief. Her resentment surfaces. She complains that Danny always takes priority over Bill. Tomas defends his boss, saying Bill is simply being there for his children. Haley agrees outwardly, but once alone, her tone changes. She vents about Bill once again playing the hero for Danny. Her anger turns menacing as she vows that Danny will pay in the end. Back at the house, Danny runs a bath to calm herself. Nicole goes downstairs to check on Chelsea and gently reminds her that carrying the gene does not mean a diagnosis. Chelsea steadies herself and shifts focus to work. She and Kat begin collaborating on fashion sketches for an upcoming presentation. Their creativity offers a brief sense of control. Bill arrives shortly after and immediately demands to see Danny. Nicole tries to block him, warning that he is crossing a line. Bill ignores her and heads upstairs. He wraps Danny in his arms and promises he is not going anywhere. Danny pulls away and reminds him that this is no longer his place in her life. Bill admits it still feels natural. He insists she will be fine because he will not allow anything else. Danny pushes back, reminding him that even he cannot control everything. Bill pulls her into another embrace just as Andre walks in. Andre escorts Bill downstairs and makes his position clear. Danny is his wife. Bill's involvement will not continue. The confrontation leaves both men simmering. At the hospital, Naomi vents to Ashley about delays in scheduling blood tests. Ashley takes action and calls Grayson in the lab to speed things up. He agrees and asks her out for coffee. Ashley accepts, admitting the sacrifice is not much of one. Back at the office, Toms overhears Haley on the phone with Randy. Haley admits her tactics have failed. She hints it is time to escalate, leaving a dangerous promise hanging in the air. Monday's CBS soaps delivered a powerful mix of heartbreak, betrayal, and romance. On Beyond the Gates, devastating test results sent shockwaves through families already hanging by a thread. The Young and the Restless ramped up the stakes as a dangerous AI scheme began tearing Newman Enterprises apart. Meanwhile, The Bold and the Beautiful balanced looming danger with joy when one couple took a major step forward. Kat worked overtime trying to keep Chelsea calm and distracted as Naomi grew increasingly frustrated with her attempts to schedule testing appointments for the two of them. When she finally gave up trying to manage it on her phone, Naomi decided to go directly to the hospital to handle everything in person. Chelsea offered to call their father and keep him informed as the tension continued to mount. At home, Nicole did her best to comfort Danny, sharing a childhood memory in an attempt to lift her sister's spirits. Dani reassured Nicole that she had nothing to feel guilty about for testing negative, but Nicole admitted that while she was grateful her own children wouldn't have to face this fear, her heart was breaking for Dani and her girls. Dani confessed that her only real fear was for her daughters, finally allowing herself to break down. Nicole held her as she sobbed, gently reminding her that she didn't always have to be the strong one, and insisting her sister take time to focus on herself instead of carrying everyone else. Elsewhere, Andre and Ted crossed paths at the country club, bonding over the agony of waiting for answers and their shared fear for the women they love. Spotting Carlton alone at the bar, Andre urged Ted to mend fences for the sake of everyone involved. Carlton was stunned when Ted joined him, but Ted quickly thanked him for supporting Andre and offering guidance on how to help Dani through the crisis. Ted made it clear he knew Carlton hadn't betrayed him and expressed relief that Nicole had someone who genuinely cared for her during such a difficult time. Back at the office, Bill and Haley met with Tomas and Caroline to discuss a case, though Bill was clearly distracted, his thoughts drifting back to the painful conversation he and Dani had with their daughters about the test. After the meeting ended, Haley pressed Bill about what was wrong, but he brushed her off, only to receive a tearful call from Chelsea asking him to come immediately. Bill scrambled for his keys and snapped at Haley as she tried to figure out what was happening before rushing out, leaving her confused and irritated. Haley later vented her frustration to Tomas about Bill shutting her out when he received a text from Kat revealing Nicole's test results. Once Tomas shared the news, Haley quickly put the pieces together, realizing Dani must have tested positive, and that it explained Bill's sudden departure. Furious, Haley complained that Dani would always come first in Bill's life. Tomas sympathized, suggesting Bill's panic was rooted in concern for his daughters. Though Haley thanked him for talking her down, once alone, she coldly told herself that Dani would be the one crying over Bill's casket. Later, she was overheard on the phone with Randy, pushing to speed up their plan. At the hospital, Naomi informed Ashley that Dani had tested positive and explained she was there to arrange testing for herself and Chelsea. Ashley offered to help, but insisted Naomi first unload everything she was feeling. Naomi angrily vented her fear and frustration, after which Ashley struck a deal with a lab tech, agreeing to go on a date in exchange for him staying late to handle Naomi and Chelsea's blood draw for genetic testing. She admitted to Naomi that the lab tech had been pursuing her since her breakup, and Naomi encouraged her to take the chance. Kat later called Martin to update him before handing the phone to Chelsea so he could offer some encouragement. Nicole overheard Martin's uplifting words and echoed his message, urging Chelsea to keep living her life and focus on what mattered, reminding her that Dani had not been diagnosed with cancer. Reassured, Chelsea agreed to spend some time working with Kat, while Nicole promised to stay behind with Dani until Andre returned home. When Bill rushed in moments later demanding to see Dani, Nicole tried to stop him, but he bolted upstairs and pulled Dani into a tight embrace, vowing to be there for her. Nicole watched helplessly as Dani sobbed in his arms. When Andre arrived home, Nicole filled him in on the test results and warned him that Bill was upstairs with Dani. Andre immediately headed up. Upstairs, Dani urged Bill to focus on their daughters, but he insisted he would be there for all of them. As they hugged again, Andre walked in and cut the moment short. Bill headed downstairs to check on the girls, but Andre followed, issuing a firm warning that he never wanted to see Bill offering Dani comfort in their bedroom again. Bill fired back that he would always be there for Dani, and that Andre didn't get to decide otherwise.